Hello everyone, and welcome to Trending in My Life. This week, podcast 74 is about Christmas your way. Because when it comes to Christmases, we all spend Christmas in different ways. For some of us, a quiet Christmas, peaceful, not a lot of people round, just relaxing, just no pressure of visitors. That is Christmas your way, if that's how you like a quiet Christmas. Other people want Christmas on a ski slope. They want to catch a plane and go to Switzerland. And for them, they have to see snow and trees covered in real snow, not just flocking on Christmas trees that they bought in a shop. For them, Christmas their way is to go skiing and to go on holiday and to go somewhere away from their home. Other people, they want to go on a Christmas cruise and they're in a hot destination. But for them, it's all about the vacation, going somewhere different, lots of people, there's entertainment, there's going to new places, probably lazing on a beach somewhere. So Christmas your way can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And there's nothing wrong with any of those Christmases. For some, Christmas is a big family gathering and they take it in turns to host it. So there's quite a lot of pressure about preparing enough food for everybody, finding enough chairs for everybody, and just making sure everything's as perfect as you possibly can to avoid all those critical remarks around the Christmas dinner table. It just depends how your Christmas is, depending on how you like it. Sometimes, of course, we end up doing 2 Christmases. When you're single, it's pretty easy, but when you get into a relationship, you might be living together, you might be married, and then you find yourself starting to do 2 Christmases. You're doing a Christmas at her parents' or his parents', and then at your parents' as well, on different days. And all those dinners seem to lose the novelty value when you're eating a lot of them day after day. And it's like one set of grandparents want to see your children on Boxing Day, and another set want to see them Christmas Eve, and some might want to see you Christmas Day, and then it's, oh no, both sets of parents want to see you on Christmas Day, and then there's grandparents that might not be able to leave their home, they might be elderly, and they want to see you on another day, and it's jiggling a timetable, trying to figure out how to schedule all this family into your Christmas. And then as the children get older, there's less pressure to do that because they go off and they're spending Christmas with their partners, mum and dad, grandparents, and gradually it moves away and the pressure gets less on you. You still visit your own parents and his or her parents as well, but maybe you get to spend Christmas Day in your own home, just doing what you feel like Christmas your way. And it might have taken quite a lot of years before you get Christmas your way, but it is nice when you do get it. But to everybody, Christmas means something different. And a lot of people work very hard at Christmas. I mean, if you're in sales, it's a very busy time of the year because people are buying gifts and shops are open late, and you're very, very busy. I mean, even the Amazon drivers that are out delivering parcels, we had one knock the door it was about 7:05 this morning, which is the earliest we've ever had one ever. I do remember there was a girl that used to knock our door before we moved doing Amazon deliveries, and she would always be there at 8 o'clock. But this was just gone 7 o'clock this morning. So, but you know, it literally, I saw the van pull up outside the window. He rang the doorbell and I went out to the living room into the hall and opened the door, and he'd left the parcel on the step and was already driving away. And I thought, that's the kind of pressure they've got so many deliveries to do at this time of year, and there's so much pressure on them. So if you're one of those people, when it comes to actually Christmas Day and you don't have to go to work, it's almost like, well, all you want to do is sleep. Watch a bit of telly, maybe do some gaming online because it's what you like, eat food, drink beer, and just chill, because you kind of worked yourself into the ground on the days leading up to Christmas. So again, that's Christmas your way, if that's what your Christmas is like. It could be that you get invited to parties a lot at Christmas time, and it's almost like in that lead up to Christmas, that week before Christmas, you've got one party after another, very late nights, you're partying hard, and you come to Christmas Day and you just don't want to do anything, and you feel like you don't. Some people get to that point on Christmas Day when they're expected to be wanting to eat a big turkey dinner and they just don't feel like it. And if you want Christmas your way, you should eat what you feel like and what you want. Because you could have eaten several Christmas dinners before that, because of meeting up with friends and visiting relatives. And sometimes it's just all too much. And even if you're not feeling like that, Christmas Day followed by Boxing Day here, the 26th. They're both days when people are at home a lot. Not everybody, because some shops and stores do their January sales starting on the 26th of December, which is crazy, I know, but there you go. So they'll have staff in, hopefully paying them like double time for working that day. But if you're at home, it's often that Boxing Day will be like a buffet of leftovers from the day before, because that's the only way you're going to use up all that leftover food. And I mean, I've always been one to try not to buy too much at Christmas, because I think once Christmas Day is finished and Boxing Day, everybody goes into diet mania and trying to get rid of the pounds and stuff. And if you have a fridge that is chock-a-block with food and your cupboards are stacked with tins of miscellaneous everything, that's sort of hard to do, and you're making it very difficult for yourself. But it's also, I think, it's the weather impacts on that, because people will store up more cans of soup and things like that, and cans of chili and things, if they know the weather's going to be bad, because they don't actually want to go out. Now, this day and age, we can have food delivered to the door, so it's not always that you need to do that. You can still get a load of food delivered to you. But talking of that subject, I have always resisted ordering my Christmas Day food online. So you can choose a time slot, and most big supermarkets and Marks and Spencers and these big stores, they do this, and they'll have special items that are only on the menu for that delivery at that time of year. But the trouble with doing that is there is always in the news that something has happened with those deliveries in some part of the UK, and people have not got the food for their Christmas dinner delivered, or part of it has come and part of it hasn't, and the part that hasn't come are the main bits to the Christmas dinner. And I've always been afraid that that would happen. And yes, it's a small amount of times that it happens, but it does happen. That's the point. And I'd rather go in person and stand in a long queue in a store, but know that I'd come away with the items that I need and put them in my fridge and freezer, and they were there, and I didn't have to worry about that. I mean, actually, in our family, I celebrate Thanksgiving because I used to live in the States. I used to be married to an American, and when I came back to England, I just continued to do it in my family. And so next week, I'll be having a full turkey dinner. So it's not something, then Christmas is like less than 4 weeks afterwards. So it's less like, oh, I haven't had a turkey roast dinner for ages, because I have it at Thanksgiving. So so we try and think of some other food to have at Christmas so that we're not repeating it. But yeah, it's like I said, some people get like that because they have to do dinners with various relatives. And it's even worse for people who are divorced, and then you get two, and they might remarry, and then you've got children either side, and you end up having like 4-6 Christmas dinners, and it's insane, because you've got the one with all the different sets of grandparents that you're dealing with when you have children, then trying to keep everybody happy. But yeah, and I think Christmas your way is sometimes putting the brakes on that, sometimes thinking, okay, what would make me happy in my Christmas break holiday? Surely there's one day when I can do what I want to do with my partner or on your own. So yeah, it's something to think about, Christmas your way. Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and come back next time. Bye for now.